People are wondering here, all right, wise guy or former Rise guy, you want to trade? You want to swing a trade? Who would the Warriors trade for? There is one trade rumor that's been out and about, Ray. And I think it goes back to late in the summer. And then, let's see, I just traced it back to a source who spoke with Sean Devaney of Heavy Sports about this. That might be where this started. And that was from October. And here's the potential deal that the Warriors, if they look to potentially move on from some of the young guys, they could trade James Wiseman to the Spurs for a protected pick and Jakob Poeltl. So what do you think of that potential trade scenario, Ray? We're not saying it's a rumor is these teams are talking about this. This could happen. Not saying that. There are reports that Poeltl could be a piece the Spurs are looking to move. Windhorst reported that, but this is a suggestion that Warriors could get protected pick Jakob Poeltl for James Wiseman.
They could do it. I mean, their salaries are roughly equivalent. But
doesn't bowl you over?
I don't know.
I like it.
I mean, I don't know if Greg Popovich is going to be any more endeared by Wiseman than Steve Kerr is.
You know, I think that's the key to it, too. I agree with you 100%.
And unless the Spurs are in full gut-it mode, and are willing to just roll the dice on a guy who cannot play on a team like Golden State, I don't know if that's one that would appeal to Popovich and R.C. Buford. I don't know, because I don't know how the Spurs think about a lot of things, but that would be the first question I would have is, okay, who are you getting?
I'm with you. It's kind of like that old saying in football, if Belichick wants one of your players, then don't trade him. He's better than you think. And I feel that way to a lesser degree, about Pop and the Spurs. If they want one of your guys, maybe he's better than you think he is. But just on the surface of it. But
that's the old Pop who wasn't coaching a team that looks like it's going to win 30 games.
Yeah, I know. From the Warriors' standpoint, I could see how it would be tough for the franchise to admit that, all right, look, we thought this guy was going to be a franchise center. It's not working out. We're getting Jakob Poeltl. But if you're just looking at this year, how could you be better this year? How could you improve your chances at making another run, maybe to another championship this year? Wiseman out, Poeltl in, I think helps you a lot in that regard, Ray. I really do.
Well, it helps you. It doesn't help the other guy.
It might.
Why?
Because as you said, they're trying to, they may be in tank mode, trying to increase, I should say, the odds of getting Wembanyama.
Okay, but...
And then you have Wiseman, it's like, we'll let him play. Who knows? Maybe he's a guy after all. We'll let him play the whole season. We would have that luxury. You don't have that luxury. And then maybe we got something at the end of the year.
Yeah, I just don't know that if San Antonio is trying to tank...
if they're trying to tank, I think it does make sense for them.
No, because if what you're talking about is we're going to get the young guy who can't play for my pal in San Francisco, I don't know that that's helping them turn the corner and say, here's a potential foundational piece. They don't need potential foundational pieces. That's what drafting Wembanyama would be.
Right.
So I don't see the lure for San Antonio, just because I think they need to see more from Wiseman before they do this to get a sense that here's a guy we could keep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to me, the reasoning would be we won't be as good. This actually helps us, increases our chances of drafting high, and maybe we end up with Wembanyama, and we take a flyer on a guy that presumably, if they had interest, they would like the guy. We'll play him, and we'll see. We think maybe we have a player here, and if we don't at the end of the year, we really haven't lost that much. So something to keep an eye on. Again, it's not a rumor, something that's been suggested.
That's what rumors are.
No. A rumor is, hey, these guys are talking about this trade. That's a rumor. This is, people have said, maybe the two teams would do that. They haven't had any discussions that I know of. That's the difference between a suggestion and a rumor, right? And I think you know that. Do you know this? Do you know that Steve Kerr today talked about why he's playing Ty Jerome and Anthony Lamb ahead of his two lottery picks? What do you think of that so far, by the way? I know coming in here and doing some pre and post for the Pistons game and doing Warriors This Week with JD. A lot of people they don't like that idea. Wait a minute. You got your two ways and they're ahead of your lottery guys? What do you make of that situation, Ray?
Steve Kerr's trying to find guys who will do what he needs. And if you're not getting that from the young guys you've got, you got to find it somewhere. So I don't have a problem with that. It's, they're not in a position where they can just give away games early on just to give young guys run. I mean, that's sort of the dichotomy here. It's that their bench has been so poor that if you're not going to change the starters, and they shouldn't because they're doing very well as a unit, you've got to change something. And so you're going to change the bench. And that's what Ty Jerome is there for. And they're not playing him like 30 minutes a game. They're not playing him even 20 minutes a game.
They're playing him, but
Anthony Lamb is playing more than, and Anthony
they're playing
Lamb,
a lot more than anyone thought they were going to play. Both
but what anyone thought they would do is out the window because the Warriors didn't think the difference between their starters and their bench would be so profound.
Why are these guys playing, Coach Kerr?
The thought process is, when you're struggling and you don't have a rhythm and you don't have consistency, veteran players are going to be able to provide that more than young players are. And so, Ty and Anthony are both, relatively young, but 4-year college players. They've learned a lot more. They've absorbed a lot more than our younger guys. And so they're more capable of allowing different groups to click, defending without fouling. You've seen, Lamb, you just watched Lamb, every defensive play on the interior, he's here instead of in here. And so as we're trying to clean up our defense, it's Ty, same thing. He defends without fouling. He doesn't turn the ball over. Those are crucial things when our margin for error is really slim.
I'll tell you what, Coach Kerr and Bob Myers, this is really a challenge for them, right, Ray? Because they're trying to couch this and be as diplomatic as they can be. And they have a lot of experience with this, so it's like second nature. But when it comes down to is Wiseman and Kuminga stink right now, and these guys are playing reasonably well. But you can't say that, right? So you have to say, well, they're playing defense without fouling and things like that. It's I'm sure it's not easy, but there's a very good explanation from Steve Kerr why those guys are playing. Lamb, I'm not sure about. To me, Ty Jerome is he's a pretty good player.
Well, but Lamb gives them a big guy they don't have.
Well, he's only 6'6", I think.
But he plays closer to the basket. And with the Warriors, it's not about how tall you are. It's about the function you serve. And the fact is, Kerr likes these guys only more than the production he's getting from the guys he would prefer to play if they were up to speed.
Yep.
And so you're not going to sit there and just wait. I know we just got 8 crummy minutes from Kuminga, but let's give him another 8. Maybe he'll figure it out then. Then you're getting 16 bad minutes. And it's not like the things they want those guys to do are things you have to ramp up to do. You can come on the floor immediately and rim protect. You can come on the floor immediately and rebound or set a proper pick and roll from it correctly. I mean, those are things you don't need to have 5 minutes of sort of run to get used to. Those are the things you should be able to pick up immediately. And the fact is, because they don't get much more run than that. Steve Kerr says, I'm giving you minutes right now. Show me what you're doing. They don't get what they want, and he just says, okay, you had your chance to show me. Simple stuff. Doesn't mean stuff you have to get into a rhythm to perform. And you're not performing them, or you're not performing them consistently. Come sit with me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the thing is they're not being asked to basically run the second unit. They're basically being asked to support the starters when possible and make a difference on the second unit. And they're doing none of those things, and that's why they're not seeing much time.